Alright, we're going to take a look at how to properly do a Kimura. So, first, we'll start with setting up. My favorite setups come from the north side position because we can attack both sides simultaneously. So, what we are going to try to do is split his elbow from his ribs. So, I'm going to get my hand, weave it through, and I'm going to force him towards the side and push my weight onto him. As you can see, I have all my weight on my opponent. This prevents him from pulling the elbow back. If he now tries to go back to his back, that will be really difficult for him. Now, snatch up the wrist and lock our initial Kimura grip. So, wrist on wrist and your own wrist on your own wrist. So there's basically 4 wrists, 3 wrists in a row here for the control. Then I'm going to put my leg onto his face. I'm going to push my knees together. Why? If he pushes out, he can escape. And he can actually turn into arm bars towards me, so we don't want that. So here, we keep tight. Now, I'm going to pull his hand free and off. We will get into breaking grip soon, but now, boom, pull his hand free and off and place his arm behind his back. As soon as his arm is behind his back, I'm going to change my position by putting my own elbow to the floor, all the way on the other side of the hip, right there. Now, I'm going to slide my foot towards his head, and I'm going to take a big step towards the side, getting myself into a wide base where I have a lot of power to pull. The final detail, which I didn't apply because it tightens the Kimura severely for him, is to move his elbow towards his shoulder blades. As soon as I do this, we'll probably already tap, which is why I didn't do it before. But what we want is to have his elbow as near to his shoulder blades as possible as we start attacking here. You can already get taps there. Be careful with that when you're practicing. Obviously, you don't want to injure your training partner. From here, we're going to use a pulling motion. So I'm going to pull my elbow back. I'm going to look towards the ceiling, and we get the tap. So let's take a look at that from another angle. So from here, next time. So from here, I'm going to boom. Separate the elbow, seize the wrist, grab my own wrist, put your leg on his head. Now go towards his elbow, pull up, place his hand behind the back. As soon as his hand is behind the back, he has a big problem here. Now, usually we try to go up as much as we can in this move, but I'm going to place my elbow down towards the hips, right there. Now there's already a lot of pressure on his elbow. I'm going to slide my knee towards him. Take a big step, we'll let go a little bit, take a big step, and from here I'm going to use a pulling motion, look up and finish. Now, if you're having trouble finishing, or you have guys with really flexible shoulders, the big thing here is to bring the elbow towards the shoulder line. He's not that flexible, so I can't really push him too much towards that side without hurting him, but if you're pulling all the way here, you might be able to actually turn quite a bit. But the more we move towards the shoulder line, the tap already comes without pressuring. Alright? So one more time from another angle. Seize the wrist. Place your weight onto him. Boom. Knees together and behind the back. Elbow towards the floor. Move your legs. Pull. We get the tap. Now, a couple of things to troubleshoot here. There's obviously a lot of steps with the Kimura, so also some space for him to move. Initially in the setup, the most important thing is to keep his elbow away from his ribs. So as soon as my arm is between this, I'm not giving this back. So what he wants is to put the elbow back to the floor. So this is what we try to prevent. We put him to a side and put the weight on. If he now tries to pull the elbow back, everything from my chest to my shoulders is in the way. From here we control the wrist. Don't go too high, because here we have severely less pulling power than when we go to the end of the lever, which is his wrist. Here, one thing that you need to remember is to keep the knees tight. If the knees are not tight, you will free his head, will start rolling out, and you will start having problems. Okay, one more thing I want to show you is what to do if your opponent grips when you try to put his hand behind his back, because obviously he knows what's coming, so he's going to maybe grab his own hands, maybe grab his own wrist, maybe he grabs his own leg, he's going to grab something which prevents you from doing this. So if he grabs his own hands, right here, it will be difficult to go there. Very easy solution is just put your knee inside, place the knee onto his wrist. Don't go towards his, too much towards the elbow. Go towards the wrist. Yeah, grab your hands. Go towards the wrist. Here we have a good lever, and we can finish it. Yeah. If he grabs his leg, sometimes it's difficult to pull loose, and now I obviously cannot use my leg. So what I do here, I'm going to go through, and I'm going to keep the elbow close, and I'm going to find his fingers. And from here, I'm going to just grab his fingers and push them together. And from here, this breaks most of the grips. Even with the gi, this works quite well. So even if he has some cloth there, maybe he has pants. If I grab the fingers together, just grab all four. Don't grab one or two, that's prohibited. Grab all four and just squeeze. Squeeze the fingers here, put together, switch back to Kimura grip, put it behind his back. Yeah? So the most important things to break the grips. If you have somebody that really cannot break the grip for whatever reason, maybe you're super strong or it's just not working, you can always opt to switch towards arm bars and start using your legs to break grips to them. Yeah? So, one more time, the entire sequence. That's it.